Good morning and welcome everyone in the social science class. Today we are going to discuss the lesson of the history, lesson 13, Delhi Sultanate. And in this chapter we are going to discuss about the slave dynasty, Khilji dynasty, Tughlaq dynasty, Sayyid dynasty and the Lodi dynasty. So during the late 12th century, India was divided into many small and the large states, and there was the lack of unity among the different rulers. And due to these circumstances, the ruler of the small state of Gaur, Yasuddin Muhammad, who is popularly known as Muhammad Ghori, invaded India and captured or conquered many parts of the India like the Punjab, Sindh, and in 1191 he was challenged by the Prithviraj Chauhan, the ruler of the Delhi and Ajmer, and Prithviraj Chauhan defeated Muhammad Ghori. But with the great preparation and with the help of the Jaichand, the rival of the Prithviraj Chauhan, Ghori defeated Prithviraj Chauhan in the second battle of the Tarain in 1192 and captured Ajmer and Delhi. But before returning to Gaur, Muhammad Ghori appointed Kutubuddin Aibak as the governor of India, and after the death of the Muhammad Ghori, he declared himself the emperor of the Delhi and established the slave dynasty in India. So slave dynasty ruled from 1206 to 90 CE, and the reason behind to call this dynasty the slave because one who founded the slave dynasty, Kutubuddin Aibak, was the slave of Muhammad Ghori, and the other ruler who ruled in this period were the slave or the children of the slave. So that is the reason this dynasty is known as the slave dynasty. So Kutubuddin Aibak given the charge of Ghori's Indian possession after 1192, the second battle of the Tarain, and he declared himself the Sultan of Delhi in 1206 after the death of the Muhammad Ghori. He established a strong kingdom based on the military power, and he also defeated the Yaldosh, the ruler of the Ghazni. And Aibak was also known as the Lakh Baksh, the giver of the lakhs. He donate every day a lot of money to the poor people. And because he was the lover of the art and architecture and literature, he built Qutub Minar, Quwwatul Islam, mosque in Delhi, and Dhai Din Ka Jhompda in Ajmer. So here is the example of the Qutub Minar, Dhai Din Ka Jhompda, and Quwwatul Islam. Kutubuddin Aibak died in 1210 CE, and he was succeeded by his son Aram Shah, but was not accepted by the nobles. So therefore, Iltutmish, the son-in-law of Aibak and the Subedar of the Badayu, was invited to rule, and he defeated Aram Shah and became the Sultan, and he made Delhi his capital. At the time of becoming Sultan, he was confronted with many problems, but he faced all the problems bravely and defeated his main rival Yaldoj of Ghazni, Kubacha of Sindh, and Multan. Because Iltutmish was a capable ruler, he diplomatically saved himself and Delhi from Mongol conqueror Genghis Khan by not giving shelter to the Shah of Khwarij, who was being chased by the Genghis Khan on the pretext that Delhi's climate would not suit him. Iltutmish also made many administrative reforms to strengthen his hold on Delhi Sultanate. So he organized a group of 40 people which is known as Chaliha, and he also divided his empire into many iktas for the administrative efficiency, and he introduced silver coin which is known as tanka and copper coin which is came to known as jital. Iltutmish was also the patron of the art and the literature. So Minhaj us Siraj, who wrote the book Tabqat e Nasiri, account of the Iltutmish reign, was the famous writer of his court or the Darbar, and the another literary person like Rohani Usami also graced his court. Iltutmish had no faith in the capacity of his son rule, so he wanted to nominate his daughter Rajia as his successor because she was an able and strong administrator. So Rajia al-Din, popularly known as Rajia Sultana, was the ruler of the Delhi Sultanate, and she is notable for being first and the last female Muslim ruler of the Indian subcontinent. After the death of Iltutmish, the nobles declared his eldest son Ruknuddin Firoz the Sultan, but he was murdered only 7 months later, and Rajia became the Sultan. Rajia crushed her opponent, and she gave the higher position to the non Turk nobles. And she used to dress up like a man while she going to the military expedition. But the rule of the Rajia was short. She ruled only for the 3.5 years, and she was killed in the battle in 1240. And after her death, Bahram Shah was made sultan by the nobles, and he was killed in 1242 CE. And after his death, Alauddin Masood Shah became the ruler, and then Nasiruddin Mahmud succeeded the throne. So, in the year 1246, the youngest son of the Iltutmish, Nasiruddin Mahmud, became the Sultan and ruled for the 20 years, and the Gyasuddin Balban was the prime minister as well as the actual ruler in Nasiruddin Mahmud time. And after the death of Nasiruddin Mahmud in 1266 CE, Balban became the Sultan as Nasiruddin Muhammad did not have any son. So Gyasuddin Balban, he was the wazir of the grandson of the Iltutmish Nasiruddin Mahmud, and after his death he declared himself the Sultan, and he was a strong and capable ruler, and he earned the power of the group of the 40 nobles to consolidate his position. He suppressed all the opposition and created an atmosphere of obedience and patriotism toward the Sultan. He was a sultan who believed in the complete justice, and he did not spare any wrongdoer, whether a common man or a noble. Balban Darbar was very disciplined, and nobody could talk or laugh without his permission. And he believed in the complete justice, and he died in 1286. And after his death, a situation of confusion emerged, and in 1290, Jalaluddin overthrew the weak and incapable successor of Balban and captured the throne. So, the slave sultanate were succeeded by 1290 CE by a new dynasty of kings called the Khilji's dynasty, who ruled in India 1290 to 1320 CE. So, now we will discuss about the Khilji or the Khilji dynasty. So, Khilji dynasty was founded by the Jalaluddin Khilji. He captured the throne at the age of the 17, and he was assisted by his nephew Alauddin in his military expedition. Alauddin Khilji was very ambitious person, and he wanted to become the sultan. So he murdered his uncle and captured the throne in 1296 CE. So Alauddin Khilji, he was a brave general and skilled administrator. He captured Gujarat, Ranthambore, Chittor, Malwa, Marwar, in the north and the Devgiri, Madurai, Varangal, and the number of the states in the south. To safeguard his sultanate from the invasions, he had a well trained and well equipped army. He kept full record of his soldier Hulia and Dag to avoid any substitution, and soldiers were paid in cash and were also given the other many facilities. Alauddin did not allow the nobles or the people to amass money, so he taxed them heavily. He banned the sale and consumption of the wine, and he organized an effective and efficient system to control revolt against him. But in Indian history, Alauddin Khilji is very famous for his economic reform. He fixed the maximum retail price of the goods of the daily use, and he also introduced grain storage and the rationing system. There were the different marketplaces for the different commodities. Serve punishment was given to those who weighed less or cheated the buyers in the market. Market controllers were appointed for strict supervision over the traders. He also reformed the revenue system, and land revenue was fixed according to the size of the land holding. The state share was fixed at 50% of the total produce, but the life of the Hindu was miserable because they had to pay more tax than the Muslim. And Alauddin Khalji is also known for the chase of Padmani. Padmani was the queen of the Chittor, and Alauddin Khalji wanted to marry her. So he attacked Chittor. He defeated the Rajputs, but the queen Padmani and the other ladies committed Johar. So the story of Padmani, the queen of the Rana Sanga, so a Singh of Mewar, was described in the epic Padmavat, which was written by the Malik Muhammad Jaisi. After ruling for 20 years, Alauddin died in 1316, and his successor could survive only up to 1320 CE. Alauddin Khalji was defeated and murdered by the Ghazi Malik, who took the name of the Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq and became the Sultan in 1320. So in this way, the Khalji dynasty also end, and then the new dynasty start, which is came to known as the Tughlaq dynasty. So that's it. Today we will discuss only this one. The rest of the chapter we will discuss in next class. So thank you and have a good day to all of you.